Alrighty, so I am going to be making another War Thunder video, this time about the J35A. So I recently started playing War Thunder again, and I decided I wanted to grind out the Viggen, and I bought the J35A Premium to grind it out. And I've actually discovered that it is a really great plane. It is extremely strong. I hesitate to say overpowered because there are planes that are essentially counters to this plane, and there are other planes that can do many things against it. And in general, if you're a very skilled pilot, you don't really even need to worry about the J35 that much, unless he gets the jump on you. But in War Thunder, most of the players, the vast majority of players, are not highly skilled. And even competent players can easily get tricked and taken out by the J35. So it has it has two strengths that are rarely sort of combined alone. So firstly, and most importantly, and what it's famous for, is the turn rate. It is ridiculously good at turning. It can outturn literally anything for a couple of turns, then it'll just bleed all its speed and you'll be going 350 kilometers. But it can outturn essentially anything. You can use this to your advantage and over a wide speed range. It does start compressing at very high speeds, but not until you get really high speed. And the second advantage and pro at 9.7 here is the top speed. It is actually one of the faster planes at 9.7. Not the fastest, there are definitely other planes that are quicker. And the MiG-21s in particular are just essentially a J-35 counter in general. Although, again, it just comes down to the pilots not really being able to take advantage of that. But it is very fast. It outruns most things, and we'll see that actually come in handy later. And I just wanted to showcase this game as I thought it was really a really good representation of what the J35 can do when properly utilized, and showing some of its strengths. So right now I'm just sort of rushing the enemy here. We're on Korea, and I'm taking note of sort of enemy positions where the enemy could be. This is sort of my general plan. We're also against America, so I like to catch the A-10s that are still going slow. This time I've sort of overshot myself a little bit. And I haven't spotted anyone too close to here, and at first I was sort of thinking I'd have to go back. I'm just really maintaining my speed, but then I see the A-10 here. And I really do like to get rid of these A-10s. I really hate the AIM-9s they carry. When you're conscious about it, it's easy to stay far enough away from them, but when you're not, there's really nothing you can do about it. So this guy is totally blind, as a lot of A-10 pilots are, and just gets immediately shot down. I'm going to turn the afterburner back on. You really do need to keep going fast in this thing. You really need to be going above 1,000 essentially at all times, unless you're engaged in a fight. And when you do take fights, you need to be damn sure you're able to take those fights, because you will slow down. This is not a good plane for carrying, even though this game goes well for me, but this is not a good plane in general for carrying. I'd say 2v1s are okay, but 3v1s and up is really, really hard to accomplish in this aircraft, just because it moves too much speed. Even if you've got 4 idiots, one of those idiots is going to be going faster than you. So I see this F-100. This is my next target. I decided to go for him. The F-100 is completely powerless against this plane. It's slower, it maneuvers worse. What more do you have to say? So I just pretty much quickly catch up with it and shoot him down. So that was an easy second kill. And then now, sort of, the fight has been established, and immediately I'm looking at this F-4C, since that's a huge threat. It's a very fast plane. It could become very, very annoying. He's pretty much oblivious to my presence as well, and I'm going up for him, expecting to be able to get a missile launch, but he actually just gets totally taken out. So then I'm just going to keep analyzing the field, and then I look down at an F-5, another plane that can give you serious headaches if flown properly. In fact, in a 1v1, if the F-5 knows what he's doing, it'll basically just win because of the energy retention. There's no way for you to not lose too much energy against an F-5. You can run, you're faster than the F-5, but there's really nothing you can do. So now I see that we've got 2 F-5s in the fight here, and to make things worse, the F-4F has actually just gone down. So now I'm in a fight against 2 F-5s. I saw that missile rather late. I should have dodged that a little bit more gracefully. And I realized that right now it's a very tough situation against in a 2v1 because, as we can see now, I'm barely going 500. But I decide that I'm in a low enough energy state where I have to sort of at least temporarily fight these guys. I also take note that that's an F5A. Not that that really matters too much. But so I'm going to fight these guys momentarily and then try to use my superior top speed to essentially just break away from them. I'm really not keen to fight two F5s. It's very hard. I'm already going 400 kilometers, and there's little I can do against them. But I do recognize he's going fairly slow, and I figure if I make him turn completely around for me while I speed away, I'll be able to get away in time. And that is what ends up happening, and then the other one comes down on me as well. You see, if I had made one more turn for Silk Sheen there, the F5A would have been coming right at me at around maybe 200-300 kilometers faster than I would be. And at that point, there's nothing I can do. I'm completely dead. This thing doesn't turn as well when you're going that slow. There's not much you can do. I try to make a cheeky pass here at the A10. Hopefully he's not paying attention. I thought he was going to go for the head-on. Unfortunately, I rolled the wrong way to dodge the head-on. And then he ended up dodging. Didn't get the shot there. But now I effectively just need to run away from these F5s. I'm also getting somewhat low on fuel now. I definitely still got a bit to burn, but the J35 doesn't particularly have a lot of fuel. On full afterburners, it only lasts 7 minutes or so, 6-7 minutes. I don't run full afterburners a lot of the time, so I'll generally get more than that. But it's not an endurance plane. I noticed both of these guys thankfully break off for the MiG-21 as soon as he comes into gauge the A10. So following suit after turn, you notice I'm keeping the turn nice and wide to maintain my speed, especially because I know there's two F5s out here. I need to have speed. If I come into the fight going Mach 1, I can sort of manage the 2v1 for a minute. I'm completely ignoring the F5 to my left right now. He's going to be going way too slow. And I am once again focusing on this A10 just because it is very annoying to have in any sort of 2v1 fight. It's very annoying to have to worry about potential missiles. This time, I know I'm going to be able to kill him. I'm prepared for it. There's really no way for an A10 to you know, you can pull too many angles. Attack angles with the J35, there's no way. But now I really am in this fight against the two F5s. Luckily, one F5 is going very slow, so I decide that really I'm just going to have to fight now. There's no choice. But I get a blessing in the form of the second F5 seemingly breaking off. I guess he just was losing ground. He thought I would just run forever, and he just broke off. So now I can actually just engage this one in a straight fight. And the thing with this is that I got to recognize that he has a better dogfighting plane. I cannot make this into an engaged, prolonged dogfight. I basically need to use my superior turning angles to force him to overshoot and then make the shot. So I'm jiggling back and forth. I'm basically and I'm bleeding more speed than him too, so he will overshoot, especially with that angle there. I'm losing all of my speed. I'm going to have one single shot here. This angle right now, as soon as this angle passes, he will cruise far away from me. But luckily I spam a little bit, and I do hit that shot. And he is now essentially crippled, and I can finish him off here. This J32 just kind of comes in from out of nowhere, tries to take it, but there we go. And now the state of the game is such that there's 3 of us left, and there's 3 of them left. They have an F5, an F8 Crusader, the Harrier. We have me, the J32, and a MiG. We have me, the J32. The Mirage, the MiG-21 just went down, yes. So what's going to happen here, I'm just going to speed this up a little bit. So I am unfortunately going to need to arm and reload. I'm very low on fuel at this point. I only have a couple minutes left. My ammo and missile loadout are also pretty low. So I need to refuel, restock, and then get back into the fight. Unfortunately, while I'm doing this, both of our friendlies die. They get killed by this F8 Crusader. The F8 Crusader is another plane that honestly will just totally demolish me in a 1v1 if they know what they're doing. The energy retention and then the acceleration on the Crusader, just the overall performance, you would be hard pressed. It's not as fast, strictly speaking. It's not really. So I'm pretty fearful of this Crusader in general. I have checked his stats and noticed that he's not a very good player, so I'm thinking I might be able to do something against him in a fight. I'm feeling pretty optimistic, but I do need to get away and get some speed. Luckily, he doesn't really even seem to notice me for quite some time. So I just figure I'm going to go fly away. I actually noticed that the Harrier is hitting ground targets, which on Korea basically means he's in the middle of the map. So I'm going to speed over there really quickly and see if I can quickly pick him off, because the Harrier is another plane, not as deadly as the Thunderbolt's missiles, but it still has missiles that can really mess up your day, especially trying to do low speed maneuvers against a Crusader. It can really ruin that fight. So if I take this guy out, I can have a clean 1v1 against the Crusader and hopefully finish things up. Again, lucky for me, this Harrier just seems to be completely oblivious to my presence, and he quickly dies. I don't want to waste any more ammo than necessary, because you know, there's only stealth rounds available for this jet, and I still don't really know where the rounds are going half the time. So I take him out. And then the only thing last is this Crusader. And I presume he's going to fight me. But I think at this point, he saw that I had 5 kills. Maybe he checked my stat card. I don't know. But he was not feeling particularly optimistic about a fight, even though theoretically he should be. Theoretically, I mean, he could just run circles around me and I'll be doing 350 in no time. But he's running away. He was most likely low on missiles too, to be honest. And possibly fuel. So he's deciding to RTB. I shoot a missile basically as a Hail Mary. It's not going to hit at all. It's way too far for an A9B. But then I notice he sort of pulls these overly aggressive evasive maneuvers. I'm thinking, oh, you know, maybe I can just spam him with A9B. So I shoot another one. He's right close to his own airfield now. I'm really thinking this is going to be futile. He's just going to run and let the tickets bleed. But here's where the speed of the J35 really does pull in clutch for me. You can see how fast we're gaining on the F8. The F8 really doesn't go over Mach 1 on the deck. And I'm actually able to take him out with the 3rd A9B. So I'm not sure if he wasn't aware what was going on, or if he didn't see it or what, but the speed differential, the speed of the J35, and his lack of awareness won the game. So that was a 6-kill game with the J35. I was super happy with it. It showcased some of the abilities that it has in a dogfighting situation, and overall the strengths of the plane. So I hope you enjoyed, and definitely consider the J35 if you're looking to grind a new tree. The J35 is a fantastic way of doing it. And thank you for watching.